You are listening to the Lose Weight for the Last Time podcast, episode number 230. Hey, yummy mummies, what is happening? I am so excited to be back with you. And before we dive into this very special episode, I want to let you know that we are in the midst of an amazing challenge, and it is not too late to join. Go to lauraconley.com/happy if you want to join our happier and hotter you. Three free, wait, see, I told you, Megan, that I would do this. Free 3-day challenge. So, we are going to talk about how to create an adaptable plan, how to have a self-care system that supports you, and how to actually show up when life happens. This is literally my signature challenge I offer every so often, but I don't even think I've offered it for maybe 6 or so months. So get in there. I don't know when I'm going to offer another one. Again, it's lauraconley.com/happy, and you're going to love it. It's going to be the best. So I will see you inside. Okay, without further ado, I want to welcome one of my favorite clients. You guys, these are my favorite episodes, and you tell me these are your favorite episodes. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you my client, Megan. Megan, give us a little scoop of who you are, where you live, and tell us a little bit about what we were just talking about before we hit record in terms of the yummy mummy being easy.
Okay, well, thanks for having me. My name's Megan. I am 33 and I live in Los Angeles. I live here with my fiance, newly fiance.
She literally just got engaged, you guys, in Italy, and we were all dying on our private app, like where all the yummy mummies live, her cohort lives, and we were just like celebrating the F out of you. That was so awesome. It was so fun.
It was exciting. It was like the last week of our cohort. My cohort started in October 2024. And yeah, like I said, I live in LA. I am an architect and I work on people's homes, which is a true pleasure of mine. I live here with my fiance and my dog, Lucy. So no human children yet, but I got a dog child.
I love that. I love I want to talk about what we were talking about before we hit record, but I also want you to speak to, I'm getting excited. I don't do that many interviews at night because I am like a night owl and I get like crazy and like in party mode, even though it's like a Tuesday night. But I also want you to talk about being in the yummy mummy and not being a mom of humans yet, and just like how that was for you, because I think a lot of people really want to join the yummy mummy, but they're like, oh my God, I don't know if I like can or should because I'm not a mom of humans yet, or maybe I'm not going to be, or whatever. So anyways, keep talking.
Yeah, for sure. So my future sister-in-law, Jenna, she actually did Yummy Mummy, I guess a year or so before me, and she's the one who introduced it to me. And she doesn't have human children. So when she was like, I did this program, Yummy Mummy, I was like, but do I have to be a mom? And she was like, no, like, but also you are a mom, you have a dog. But ultimately, I think actually being in the group with moms, basically women who are juggling a lot of things all at one time, is the best group to learn from. Whether you want to have kids or you don't have kids and don't want to have kids, I think it's just a group of women doing a lot of things at one time. That's really what a mom is. Like these women are juggling crazy amounts of things, trying to parent their children, trying to take care of themselves. So them trying to weed through everything really was helpful for me to learn from.
Oh, that's so well said. Yeah, that's such a great point. And I love what you're saying too, because it just like, it shows the listeners that like it is possible. Like, I know if you're listening, it doesn't feel possible to add one more thing to your plate, because all of us women are so busy. Like the mental load is insane. And you're right, we're juggling a million things, but this is something that can really fit into your life. And then in the long run, will end up taking things off of your plate, will end up actually saving you time.
Yeah. When I first met with you, deciding if I wanted to actually do it, I think I talked to you about how I was in the middle of taking my licensure exams. So when you want to be a licensed architect and legally call yourself an architect, you have to take 6 national exams, and then California has an extra exam, right? So
Huh.
it's 7 exams that you take while you're also going to work full time
Oh my
and
God.
just trying to be an adult and get
Yeah.
engaged and all those things. So it's been 3 years now, and I've passed 6 of my exams. But when I first met with you, I had only passed 4. And I was like, there is absolutely no way I can study for 2 hours a day, go to work for 8 to 9 hours, get home, do yummy mummy. Like, you can't lose weight when you're busy. That's
Mm,
crazy. And you were like, no, just trust me. And before I had started yummy mummy, I failed my last 2 exams, and which is common. Sometimes you take them,
yeah.
they whatever. And somehow during yummy mummy, I passed those same 2 exams that I
Mm,
failed. And I think the reason why is like yummy mummy taught me that you don't have to be so tight about everything. Like, you
mm,
can breathe through it and you can make things easier, and hard things don't have to be so hard.
mm.
And with these tests, I thought the only way to approach it was like more time, more energy, more stress. The more stressed I am, the more likely I am going to pass these tests.
Oh,
And Yummy Mummy taught me, like, no, actually, if you ease into it, relax into it, take some breaths, like, you will be able to do hard things in an easier way. So I started approaching my tests that way, and I passed them, which just like the day before my test, I was like, oh, maybe I'll just get a massage. I don't have to study the day before. Like, no, I never had done that.
that is so cool because it's like a recipe for life. I mean, not only does it work, it also just feels way better for you.
Oh my God, it feels so much better instead of like panicking and having, like, not to be gross, but like IBS the night before my test.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'll get a massage and I'll be relaxed.
Yeah. What a concept. This is exactly what we were talking about before we hit record. I was like, Megan, like, what do you want to make sure that like the listeners, like, of course, I'm going to ask her all my questions, you guys, don't worry. But like, I was like, what do you want to make sure that the audience hears and knows? And what did you say? Because it's totally in line with what we're talking about.
That this is the easiest way to lose weight. I feel like I've tried everything. Like, I think the first time I did Weight Watchers, I was 16 years old.
Mm.
Like, it was like when I
Yeah.
was in college, lean cuisines were big.
Oh,
Like,
God.
ugh.
Me too. I was living in LA near you, and oh God, I can't even, like, this makes me want to throw up right now. I'll never forget it. It's so
Yeah,
nasty. And then you're like starving.
I was always hungry. And then I would get the like hunger migraine. I would say I had the hunger migraine while dieting every day. So I couldn't actually focus. I couldn't do my job. I'd be at work like tingling from just hunger, feeling like I was going to pass out. I have not had a hunger migraine in 6 months. Like,
Oh,
just doesn't exist. So yeah, Yummy Mummy. I remember Jenna telling me before I started, this is the easiest way to lose weight. And I was like, oh, okay, sure. Like, I've heard that before. Like they're like My Fitness Pal or whatever, like
so hard to
something.
believe. It's so hard to believe because we've tried so many things and all the things are hard and give
All
us
the things are hard.
migraines. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, I have not once been starving in 6 months. I wouldn't even say I've been hungry because I catch it early enough
Mm,
so I don't get super hungry. And I should say I've lost on the program, I lost 38 pounds in 6 months.
so badass.
It's like, how did I losing 38 pounds and I never was hungry? Like,
That,
that's unheard of.
that's crazy. That is so fun to say out loud.
Yeah.
So what did Jenna say that made you curious? Like, how did you come into this world? Like, what did she say? What made you cross that threshold and be like, okay, screw it.
So we went on a family trip to Palm Springs. And I don't know how soon after it was for Cooper ending, but it was the holidays and we were going out to dinner. And there's this great Italian restaurant that we love to go to. And I remember her sitting at the table and she looked great. She just had like a lighter energy about her. She seemed happier.
Mm,
And I knew she lost weight and I knew she was ordering differently, but she didn't say anything about it. She was just normal. Like she
Mm,
ordered what she wanted, she ate what she wanted, and she did not talk about it one time,
mm.
which I don't know about you, but when I've been on a diet, it's my whole personality normally.
Yeah, me too. Oh my God. Everyone and their freaking mother knew what I was eating and what I wasn't eating, and then would watch
Oh
me
my God.
throw in the towel on what I said I was going to do.
100%. It's all you can talk about. And if you go to a dinner, you're like, well, I'm not eating bread, so no one at the table can order bread. It's like, well,
Hmm.
we're at an Italian restaurant. Like,
Hmm.
uh, and Jenna did not say one thing. She just did what she wanted. So that was probably a year and a half before maybe a year before I even asked her about Yummy Mummy.
Mm.
But I had gotten really high weight wise last August when I reached out to you. And I just was like, I can't log my food in my fitness pal ever again. Like, I cannot do this. Like, I had done that probably 3 or 4 times and I'd lost and gained the same like 30 pounds probably over the last 5 years, at least 3 or 4 times. So I was like, you know what? Let me just reach out to her. And when she said it's the easiest way to lose weight, and then I pieced together her being normal at a restaurant, I was like, oh, there's something in the water here.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And I love that you were so thoughtful about it too. It's like, because Jenna has been my client for like a long, I think her first round was like maybe 2022 or something. It's been a while
Yeah.
for sure. Okay, so tell us a little bit about like your before and like you guys that listen to this podcast regularly. It's not necessary. I mean, we'll take all the before and after pictures for sure, but it's more so like internally because, like, yes, we lose the physical weight, but also the mental and emotional weight. So just tell us, I mean, you articulated it a little bit already, but like, what was it like for you before you found this methodology when you were like gaining and losing those 30 pounds? Like, just tell us about the internal battle, the struggle, like what it was like for you personally.
I think I was always unhappy with my weight, probably the last 10 years after college.
Mm,
And even in college, I was unhappy with my weight, but I thought, oh, lean cuisines will solve this problem. So I was always band aiding the problem. I was never actually solving it.
mm,
And I used food to feel my feelings 100%. And I would say in the last probably 5 years, binge eating became like a really big part of the way I ate. And I would reward myself with food, which, yes, you can have like joy eats. And like, I love everything that I eat. It's so good. Food is amazing. But if I have a bad day at work, like fixing those feelings with, a whole pizza started to become a habit regularly. And ultimately, when I'd be eating that pizza before, during, and after, I'd feel a lot of shame,
mm.
embarrassment. I would feel like, why can't you just figure this out? Like, it's not so hard. It was like the one thing in my life I couldn't unlock. And I was really embarrassed by it, I would say.
Yeah. First of all, just want to like thank you for being like open about it because it gives so many other women permission to exhale and be like, oh my God, I'm not crazy. Because there is a lot of shame and embarrassment around it, especially when you're like, okay, I'm like so successful in all the other areas of my life. Like, what's going on? And like the way our brains deduce, it's like, okay, well, there must be like something's wrong with me. Like, why can't I figure this out? Like, I must be a failure. And you're not. I mean, you know this now, obviously, which I'm gonna ask you about in a second, but it's so interesting because it's not a character flaw. It's just that no one's taught us. Like, they taught you how to do architect shit. Like, they taught you. I don't even know what you do as an architect, like actually like the skills, but you obviously learn them so you can pass these tests and be a badass at your job. But nobody is teaching us how to feel our feelings, how to lose weight for the last time. Like they're teaching us how to yo-yo, how to think about food in our bodies, like what to do if we are bored or we do need a reward or we have had a stressful day. No one's teaching us this. And it has nothing to do with whether or not like we're a failure. It's just literally a skill we haven't been taught. Like It's that simple.
Absolutely. And even I'm really close to my mom and I've spoken to her about this program and talked her through it. And she's like, yeah, everyone has their own method of figuring this out. And she at one point was like, were we weird about food growing up? Like, was it us? And I was like, no, it was like my family was so normal about food that everyone ate what they wanted on their plate. You could have seconds, you could have thirds, you could have whatever you wanted. It wasn't limited. And yeah, it wasn't restrictive. Like when I went on Weight Watchers at 16, my parents were probably like, look, we have 4 kids. Like, we don't have time to think about whether or not you're
Yeah.
on Weight Watchers.
Yeah.
Like,
Whatever you want to
sure,
do.
sure. They just were like, we're trying to get through the week. But I think when I was growing up, those diet fads were so popular and you saw it work for one person. Like, yeah, Weight Watchers worked for one person and they kept it off the rest of their life. But
Mhm.
maybe something clicked for them that just couldn't click for me at the time. And ultimately, I realized like with YMX, I needed the food lessons more than I needed to learn about like what I can put in my mouth. Like, you can have fruit if you want, or you can not have fruit. Like, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Let's just choose a route and go for it.
Mm-hmm. That's so good. That's so well said. Yeah. Just to relate back, I feel like my parents did such a good job with like nutrition and food, especially for like the 80s and 90s and even 2000s. But it's like our culture doesn't teach us and doesn't teach our parents. So even if our parents are doing a good job, it's really hard to get the lessons. Yeah. Okay. So anything else you want to tell us about how you felt like
Mm.
emotionally before?
I think I always felt tight, like a restriction
Oh,
within my body and an anxiety, right? So I couldn't figure out ways to release that tightness and
mm,
restriction. So I would go to food because that was easy, right? Like you
yeah.
kind of just turn your mind off and you just put
Mm.
food in the mouth. Like you don't actually think about it. You like turn on some Bravo and that
Yeah,
helps like shorten your mind, which by the way, Bravo's amazing. I'm still going to do that, but I
totally.
don't have to like shovel food
Zone
at the
out.
same time. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so good. And like, what did it feel like waking up? Like waking up before, as
Hmm.
Megan before.
It was a little bit of like, okay, it's another day.
Mm, yeah.
Like, sure, some days would be like, oh, I have something exciting to do. But for the most part, it was like, well, it's just another day. There's
Yeah.
like, it wasn't special.
Okay, so now what is it like for you? Now, how do you feel like in your day to day? Now, how do you feel like when you do have a harder day at work? Or just talk us through like the
Yeah.
experience of being Megan.
I think now life is like a lot more fun, a
Mm,
lot more free because food is not in control of every single thing that I do. It actually has no control over me anymore.
mm.
I get to decide what I eat, when I eat, how I feel after I eat,
Oh,
how I feel before, which is wild.
that is like you're like defining freedom so perfectly. Like that's so good.
It's really nice that food doesn't tie to emotion. And
Mm,
I would say my life is like there's a lot less drama around the mental anguish. So if I was anxious before, I would beat myself up for being anxious. Like, well, why are you anxious? Your life is fine. Everything's fine. You didn't do anything. Like the whole conversation in my head. Now it's like, okay, I feel a little anxious. Why? Let me journal about that. Let me think about it. Let me do some
mm,
now feeling work. Let me look at the feelings wheel. Maybe I can figure out a word that is better than anxious and then I can work on this. It just like I can find solutions if I
yes.
need them. But I also can be like, oh, it's okay. You just feel this. Let's sit in it for a second and we can move on.
Yeah. That's so huge. Such a big deal. Okay. So you told us what was the number? 37, 38 pounds?
Yeah, I think it was like today coming in, I'm at 39.6 lost.
Okay. 40 fucking pounds, you guys.
Let's
She
round
lost
up.
40 pounds. That's freaking amazing. What do you think for you, Megan, was like the key, like the difference maker? Like what unlocked it all for you?
I think journaling. And
Mm.
oh my God, when you first were like, we're going to journal every day, I was like, this is so woo. Like, this is too, like, I was
I literally, Megan, today I had a consult with somebody who actually just signed up for the Yummy Mummy and I didn't use the word journaling. I was like, so we're going to write some things down every day because
I
I realized people are like they're like averse to it. Like,
oh my gosh. And look, like I live in LA. I love a horoscope. Like give me all the weird, like I'll try a crystal. If you told me putting a crystal on my window would make me lose weight before, I would have been like, okay, is
okay.
it, how much does it cost? Like whatever. I'll try all the things, but there was something like I was like, I don't want to do homework. I went to school for so long. I worked my ass off. I have
Mm,
a job. I was like, I don't need another job. And then somehow this became fun. And like
mm,
journaling is so fun and freeing. Not that sharing your feelings with other people is burdensome, but I don't have to pile everything on other people. I can just
mm,
solve it. And then if I need to talk through it with someone, sure, I can do that. But most of the time, I can find solutions in my journal.
mm,
Having the journal, I think, unlocked it. And then the biggest part probably was so I couldn't join any of the weekly calls because
mm,
I had a work meeting. So there was no way to move it. All good. And you said you can do this program without joining a single call. And that's what I did. I joined one call the whole time. But because the women in my cohort were so willing to share and be extremely vulnerable with what they were going through, watching them back and hearing what their struggles and hearing their coaching made the biggest difference for me.
mm.
Like they were going through exactly what I was dealing with, and you were helping them find solutions and being able to watch that and watch them change every single week. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
It's so funny because everybody says that about their like unique cohorts. And like I used to like pressure everybody to come live to the calls, but then I've just had so many clients over the years that have never been able to come to a call and been so successful like yourself. So now I'm just like, it's whatever works for your life. Oh, the women in your cohort, I just love them. So, I mean, I love all my clients, but I mean, okay, I'm gonna go down a whole rabbit hole, but like because I woke up this morning and I was like, I was journaling and I was like, I just love my clients so much. How did I get so lucky to be able to do this? Why do you think the journaling got like a bad rap or like a woo rap? Like it's so funny because it's not that like, do you think it's now like when you do it?
No, not
Uh,
even a little bit. It's like kind of the opposite. It's actually become very practical for me now. And like normally you don't
Oh,
think of something woo woo, it's practical. Now it's practical because for someone like me who goes, I'm at lightning speed from when I wake up to when I go to sleep,
mm,
it actually makes me sit down and take a
mm,
breath. And
yeah.
I don't journal for that long. Like I think some of the women in my cohort, they were amazing. I would read their journal entries because they would find solutions that I was looking for. And
Hmm.
I would be like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do a longer journal because I want to dig into that. But for the most part, every day it's 5 minutes total.
That's how mine is. And you guys, just so you know, if you're thinking about joining the Yummy Mummy, you don't have to share your whole journal, like your whole personal life. You can, and you'll end up wanting to because it becomes so sweet. But I do want to just call that out. And I think for me, it's usually like a 5 or 7 minute practice. And then some days I want to like go a little deeper. But that's what I love about it is that it like catches me when I'm falling. Like this morning, I woke up, I was in a great mood. I was excited for the day, whatever. I did 5 minutes of journaling, but if I had woken up on the wrong side of the bed, my journal would have caught me and I would have been able to process whatever I needed to process. So I think it's like such a good, like, it's just like this steadiness, this like, I got your back kind of a thing in your life. So,
Yeah, I think too, when you and I first met, and I was like, I wake up, I study, I go to work, then I come home, I study, I did it. And you were like, okay, I know you have 3 minutes in your day for yourself. Like, what are you going to do for yourself? What is going to make you feel good? And I couldn't come up with anything on that call. It's like, that makes me sad that I didn't do
yeah.
anything. Like, I have a dog who's so awesome, and I can just cuddle her for 5 minutes and I
Mm,
can journal, I can read. And now using my journal, I we practice gratitude in our journal. And now I see those things more clearly, like all the beautiful little nuggets in my life or the glimmers, as you call them. I can see them now. Whereas before, because I wasn't journaling, I couldn't find them.
yeah. Oh, that's so good. Oh, I love that. Oh, so was I being hardcore with you on our consult call?
No, I think you were just being real. Like, you were like, this is for you. You have to do this. And I was like, you were like, I know this will work for you. And I was like, okay, if she thinks so, like, I don't know, she seems pretty confident. She give it a
I guess it will. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, it's so funny. Sometimes I'm like I think I just read the room. I just think I read like sometimes I'm really soft and sometimes I'm a little bit like more like I'm gonna shake you and I'm gonna like jump through the screen and you're gonna join this program. I'm
No, it
never
was
like
good.
I'm never salesy or convincing, but because I actually, you guys, just so if you're listening, you're like thinking about joining. I never want to convince. Like, do I want to encourage you? And do I know like this will work for you? Yes. But like, I never want to convince somebody because then I just have to keep convincing you the whole 6 months. Like, there has to be a tiny bit of buy in on your part. Okay. So let's switch gears a little bit. Like, what are some of your biggest takeaways? Like, how has this work translated into other areas of your life?
So I think you should lose weight even when you're busy. Like,
Mm.
I think that's when you should lose weight the most. I, like I said, I don't have human kids yet, so I don't have to figure that part of life out yet. But I think because I did this while I was doing my tests, also going to work, blah, 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 all those things that felt really overwhelming, right?
Hmm.
Because I lost weight not in a vacuum. It
Yes.
has made the practice easier when life has been chill. Or it made like the holidays, I had to
Mm.
solve that, right? And I was like, okay, let's figure it out. And I figured it out. Didn't gain any weight over the holidays. I went to Italy for 2 weeks, which old me would have gone to Italy for 2 weeks and probably gained 10 pounds and kind of been weirdly miserable and beating myself up the whole time for eating. I went to Italy and did not gain anything. Like not nothing, not point one, not nothing. Like,
Oh my God. I did not know that. That is
oh yeah,
so freaking badass. And we talked about that. That's amazing. Good job.
thank you.
That's so good. You guys, this is a perfect example of like, it's better over here. It's better. Like it is like you get to weigh what you get to weigh what you want and enjoy your Italy vacation more than you would have 5 years ago or a year ago. I know it sounds crazy and too good to be true, but it's just not.
It sounds crazy. It is not crazy. I ate everything I wanted. I didn't feel sick at all. I didn't feel restricted. It was perfect. Like, I think I enjoyed the trip more because the whole trip wasn't about food. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna have pizza? Great. But I'm also gonna have pizza in this really cool square that has, like, I could see things more clearly.
Yeah.
It wasn't like laser focused on the pizza.
You're engaging all of your senses.
Exactly.
Yeah. And you got engaged, which is so freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh,
The best part I told the cohort was like, so there wasn't like a photographer or anything. It was like very quiet, just us private. But my fiance took a video on his phone and I can look at the stills in the video and love the person in the photo. Like, and look, I'm not at my natural weight necessarily yet. I'm not at my perfect weight, but I love those photos. And
oh,
it
God.
it's so freeing. Like, how nice is it to get engaged and be like, I love every single picture. It's so fun.
That's everything. I was just talking with someone yesterday, and she's like, I don't love any of the pictures of me and my baby. I hate them all. And I was like, oh, that like breaks my heart. And also, we can solve for it too, because we can. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
everything. I mean, this is like a monumental, once in a lifetime experience. And like, you want to love those pictures.
And I should say, like, I don't love those pictures because I'm thinner.
Mm,
I love those pictures because I can see the woman in them is genuinely happy. Like, there's a difference. There's more of a glimmer in my eye. It has nothing to do with a ring or me losing a few pounds. It's just, I like the person better.
I'm like tearing up. That's so special. That's because that's everything, because that's what freedom is. And oh God, I just like, yeah, that just took me aback for a second. That's awesome, Megan. That's so special.
It makes it really fun. I mean, the ring is badass,
Yeah,
but
her ring's
like,
amazing, you guys. It's like so unique. It's so cool. I love it. It's unique and it's also very classic. Oh, so cool. Okay, tell us. I always love to ask you guys, how would you describe the Yummy Mummy in one word?
comforting.
So good. Okay, what do you wish someone told you when you were deciding to sign up for the Yummy Mummy? Like maybe you were on the fence, you didn't know.
I think I knew that it worked because I saw it in Jenna. I think the only thing holding me back probably was the cost.
Mm,
But I think I heard you say it in the program. You were like, come from a place of abundance and openness. And you
mm,
randomly had touched on finances for some reason. I can't remember why. And I just, around that time that I was purchasing this, I was learning more about abundance. Like,
mm.
if you open yourself up to certain things in the world, they come back to you. And I had learned from someone in my life who's very financially responsible that, quote unquote, you spend money to make money, sort of thing. And I think that's the case here. Like, if you put love and extra attention into yourself, like that money that you spend on this program will somehow come back to you. I don't know exactly how, but I just know that it will.
Yeah, it's so well said. I mean, I'm actually working on a workshop to teach business cohort for one of my colleagues. And just like, if you have your health, you can create whatever wealth you want. But it's really hard to live abundantly when you don't feel good in your skin, like when you feel heavy, like emotionally, energetically. Yes, physically too, but it's really hard because
Yeah.
you're walking up a really steep hill.
I also
Yeah.
think too, like the Yummy Mummy actually affords you more time in your life,
Hmm.
which seems counterintuitive because you do these weekly practices and you have calls and you're adding things to your plate, but somehow while you're doing it, it's taking things off your plate. So
Yeah.
maybe it actually does leave space for you to fill those voids with things that you love. Maybe it's a way to make money, or maybe it's a way just to like be nice to yourself and relax and read and watch Bravo and do what you want. And you get to choose what you want to do with your life once you join Yummy Mummy.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
it's actually some of the most productive, like relaxing is actually so productive because, I mean, that's a whole nother podcast, but it shows you what's possible. Oh, it's so good. Okay, so cost was a little bit of a barrier for you, but you overcame it by just showing yourself that this will come back in some way, shape, or form. Anything else you want to say on that? Because I know cost can be a barrier for a lot of people. It is an expensive program. Like, I'm not going to ever argue that. I think, obviously, I think it's worth it. I think the ROI is there. But anything else you want to touch on?
I think as someone who couldn't join any of the calls, I think the biggest thing is like if you do it and you show up, you will naturally get returns, like just by showing up. Maybe you don't get to do every homework assignment, or maybe you don't listen to every call. But I found just by showing up and having the call on in the background while I'm going on a walk or just being there was enough. And I lost weight for the majority of it just by being there. I didn't
Yeah.
always have to like work at it.
Yeah. You don't have to be perfect. I mean, in fact, that is like a bit of an undertone or a bit of a lesson I hope everybody gets, is to like release some of the perfectionistic thinking and like, look, you don't have to do every single thing in order to lose weight for the last time. And that's true for any other area of your life. You can loosen, it's like what you were saying with your tests. It's like you really can loosen the grip and enjoy yourself and also pass the test. So, yeah.
Yeah, what a wild thing to learn. Wish I knew that one sooner.
Yeah, well, our culture does not teach us that. And it's uncomfortable to trust that. Like, it feels scary to be like, what? I can loosen the grip. What? I can relax and still get the results or get the results better and faster. It does feel backwards. Okay. Anything else that you want to share before we end? I feel like this was so thorough and so rich.
I think that's it. I think just do it.
Oh, yeah.
Sign up. Like this
Do it, you guys.
Oh my God. I wish I would have done it a long time ago. I think learning too that if you start this program, weight loss and the changes you want to make to your life are inevitable is really exciting and freeing and fun.
Yeah, I know. It's so true. It does sound unbelievable. Okay, thank you so much for being here. So, you guys, I told you at the beginning of the podcast that you can go to our free challenge, lauraconley.com/happy. But if you're like listening to this and it's after April 16th and you're like, okay, I want in, you can also go to lauraconley.com/lose, LOSE, and you can just book a call. I like to talk to everybody who's coming into the program because I want to just make sure that you get all your questions answered, make sure that you feel comfortable, make sure we don't let anyone into the program that we don't feel like we can guarantee their results, because we do guarantee your results. So you can go to lauraconley.com/lose if you want to book a call, if the challenge has already passed. Thank you, Megan. You are a little dreamboat. I love you so much. I'm so excited to see what you're going to create. I think this is such a cool foundation. Like, you're so young and you're so lucky that you got all this so young. I just think it's so cool, and I'm so excited to see what you create.
I agree. I'll keep you posted on the wedding.
Yeah, I'm freaking crashing that. I'm coming.
Love you, Laura.
I love you so much, Megan. Okay, you guys, I hope you have the best week ever. Ciao, ciao.